What up, what up, what up, people? Good evening. Yes, we are back. We are back with our anarchy and our chaos and our madness. It is Shelfside Spurs.
It's a good start.
So I'm
Oh,
going to take over.
you just froze. You just
You
froze
froze for a bit there.
You're now frozen. Shit. There you go. That's what happened on Shelfside. We don't care about bandwidth or any of that stuff. No, we just
No.
do it. Let's say hello to some of our viewers. First in the queue, big up, Eugene. It was his birthday recently. He was all of 16 years old, would you believe? He still
dog
can't
years?
drink. I think so, yeah. I think so. So that in human years, that would be 112.
114.
Yes. Big up to you, Stephen. Good to see you back, boys. Thank you. It's good to be back. Woot woot. Yep, they're back. We're back. Thank you for joining us, Bobby K. I don't know who this bloke is. 90 minutes and counting. It's like someone just sat there counting the minutes.
Yeah.
I mean, I know we're good, but come on. Al's life is here.
Big up, Al.
Where the shelf side. Where the shelf side, Tottenham. Great seeing the show back. Great to be back. Thank you very much, Al. Mr. Coffee himself is here. The world is a better place when Shelfside Spurs are on. It's very kind of you to say, Ben. It's not a better place. It's a more warped place, I think, would be more accurate.
It could be a better place because he's making the assumption you're not actually walking the streets now.
There is that. There is that. Yes, there will be one or two fewer dead ladies of the night, but that's a different show. Stuart is with us. Evening, everyone. Good to see you, Stuart. This bloke, apparently, we are doing this thing. Allegedly, it seems like we are. Mr. Iggy, Mrs. Iggy, sorry, is with us. Hey, Sophie. Evening, all from the Princes. Great to see you guys.
Wake up.
Luke is with us. Evening, all. Mark Cousins. Evening, lads.
Wake up, Mark.
And also Kimber, evening, gentlemen, and Bobby, indeed. Right. So here we go. Back into the swing of things. Before we start, obviously, the campaign to stop the smashing of like and subscribe buttons is still underway. Caress it, fondle it, do mildly sexual things with it if you wish. You don't have to smash it. You can just caress it. All right. So, yeah, as always, we start off with Spurs on this day in history. So we're going to throw to Nick. Nick's going to take over this. Nick, tell us what happened.
Am I? Oh, yeah, I am.
You are.
Actually.
You are.
We did discuss this, yeah. Hang on, let me just bring it up because I sent it to you.
It's probably going to go wrong, but,
Okay, so we haven't just got one Spurs day in history on this day in history. We've got three for you. We are spoiling you. So we've got one from 1938, we've got one from 1958, and we've got one from 1962. So we'll go in the order. So on this day in 1938, Ron Burgess, not Ron Jeremy, Ron Burgess signed professional forms for the club, including wartime games. He played 458 times for us, netting 56 goals. He left to manage Swansea in 1954.
What was the best live goal you saw, Kuv?
The fourth one.
Oh, fourth.
In 19
scored it with his enormous. No, wait. It's not
yet. We got 4 minutes and 30 seconds. In 1958, Everton were defeated 10-4 at White Hart Lane on the day that Bill Nick succeeded Jimmy Anderson as Spurs manager.
Yeah.
So, Alan, you might have been there.
Yeah, I was definitely there.
Yeah. 10-4, that's almost like 114, isn't it?
It is.
Almost like 1-0-4. Yeah, if it had been 11-4, it would have been perfect.
Yeah.
That'd be like winning the game 20-0. Wouldn't it? Like 2-0-0. Yeah.
And the final one on this day in the Spurs history, 11th of August 1962, Tottenham defeated Ipswich Town 5-1 at Portman Road in the FA Charity Shield match. Tottenham were the FA Cup holders, having retained the trophy by defeating Burnley 3-1 at Wembley.
Nice. And of course, our links with Ipswich are very popular and very famous with Jason Dazelle.
Indeed, the Jason Dazelle. Jason, the man Dazelle.
Dazelle,
As you can see, guys, we've got some new guests, people that have been on before but not regularly. So we should say hello to them. Bob Spur, how you doing?
All jokes aside, there's no way you guys were coming back on, and I wasn't gonna join you. It's been a long time coming. It's a show I always look forward to. I wish I could say that with all genuine, but truth be told, I was just fucking bored. So I thought, come on.
Why do you think we do it?
Yeah.
Graham's in the house.
Great to see you back, man. Great to see you back.
And Kuva, how are you, sir?
I was just sorry, I was reminiscing to the glorious days of Tottenham and Ipswich and that wonder goal from Jason Cundy.
Yeah.
Let's never forget. Piece of sheer quality, won us the game and led us on to not triumph. But apparently, if you lower the bar enough, it is still successful.
Do you remember who scored the equaliser?
No.
No, I don't.
John Walk.
So you see, so some things lead on to greater things. This was something that led us on to more mediocre things.
Yeah.
A comfortable slippers moment.
Yeah, I think so. Absolutely. Just for people in the chat, later on, towards the end of the show, we're going to do an Ask Us Anything section. So get your questions in now as to what you want us to answer at the end of the show. Obviously, Shelfside Spurs show is a Tottenham-related program, so Tottenham questions will obviously be completely ignored. Yes, ask us anything you like, and we'll answer them at the end of the show.
And guys, just put at SSS at the beginning, so the guys know to star it and put it to one side as well.
Absolutely. So I think we should get into it. We kicked off last week. We kicked off last week. But actually, there's a little bit of news that broke today in the Daily Mail. Apparently, the infamous four have been banished from training. So that's KFC boy himself, and Giovanni Lo Useless, Harry Winks, and Sergio Reguilon, told to train alone or not with the first team. What do you guys think about that? Let's go with Nick.
Pretty much forgotten already.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, I don't understand why. Yeah, I mean, I think it's another thing I think it's Conte showing that he's in charge, and he's told them, we told you before South Korea we didn't want you, we still don't want you, and now we definitely don't want you anywhere near the first team. So off you go into the corners of Hotspur Way, and maybe Iggy in his morning videos when he's back there, you might see them at the front, maybe training by themselves. Who knows?
Yeah, it's a few of the players have been linked already, haven't they? I mean, talks of Brighton interested in Reguilon. I mean, I could see the likes of Reguilon being linked away from us, and Harry Winks, says everything. Lo Celso as well, but Colonel Sanders, man, that's a bit harsh. But no, I understand they just want to maybe bring the wrong vibe to the squad, but. Glad to see that, Newcastle apparently interested in Ndombele. So it's good that the links are out there. We just hope they're more of a Perisic and Bissouma link where jobs are getting done quickly, business is getting done quickly rather than the Spence ordeal we had to go through.
Yeah, that took forever. That was absolutely insane. Just the length of time that we're linked with this essentially young prospect, and it wasn't, unless I'm wrong, was there anyone else linked with him that was interested in him?
Can't remember. I don't think so.
No.
Yeah. So weird that it took that long. Yeah. Kuva, what do you think of the fat four? They're not all fat. It's just Ndombele, but he sort of makes up for the others. So what do you reckon on?
He does. A man after my own heart. Perhaps I should be demanding 200 grand a week. I think it's just when we say Deadwood, we really mean it this time. This is absolutely pointless them being anywhere around the club. And Ndombele, well, he had a good game against Newcastle that one time, didn't he? So perhaps they're remembering that. And we need to get online, everybody, and try and sabotage any other footage of Ndombele so that Newcastle's intent to buy isn't sabotaged. I think we'll do well then if we get £5 or so.
So we just need to show the goal against Villa at home and that goal that he scored.
Newcastle
against
was it Stoke?
No, against Sheffield United.
Oh, Sheffield United,
yeah, that's it.
He scored against Newcastle as well. Nice one away, didn't he?
Yeah.
With that 3-1 win. Yeah.
In fact, he's got some real bangers, hasn't he? Perhaps we should play him.
Yeah.
What you should do, right? What you should do is put like a KFC sign behind the net with a little target, right? Like a moving target, and every time he hits it, he gets like a free, like chicken piece or something like that. And then by the end of at the end of every game, we like have a 10 bucket thing, because he's like just 10 goals trying to get the
bargain bucket. Yeah. What was the inspiration behind today's hat trick? Bargain bucket. Fillet burger without cheese. Yeah. Not that it sounds like that, of course. That's the best French accent I've ever done.
That was spot on. That was spot on, Bob, and a little bit racist as well, which I really like.
Yeah. Nice blend. It's an adequate blend, isn't it?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Of herbs and spices.
Yes, it's the
secret
94
ones.
Yes.
94 herbs. I know what the by the way, I know what the secret was. Spending 7 years at KFC. I now know what the secret ingredient is.
Oh yeah. What is it?
It's a secret.
Ah. Is it like a jar with the word secret on it, and no one knows what's inside?
We do.
Oh, okay, that's cool.
But it's a secret.
Okay.
If you want to know, let's get this show up to 200 likes. Come on,
or 114.
114.
Yeah, 114 or 200. Nowhere in between. Right.
Yeah.
So, guys,
I think it would be a bit silly to go over 114, to be honest.
Yeah, I mean that's just ridiculous, isn't it? No, knowing Bob is just probably yeah.
Straight away.
Should know, but anyway.
So, chaps, Tottenham 4, Southampton 1. We all watched it. 3 of us were there, which was a great game. But was Spurs great, or was Southampton shite, or was it a combination of the two?
Yes.
Go on, chip in.
Yes.
I think it's
guys, remember, this is Shelf-Life Spurs show. I'm not going to say, Nick, give us your thoughts. Just talk to me. I don't, I'm not thing. Tell us.
Okay. Go on then, Nick.
Yeah. Spurs were great. Yes. Southampton was shite. Yes. And it was a combination. Yes. Depends who you ask, though. If you ask Scott M's going to tell you Southampton was shite. So, look, we love you, Scott. Hopefully you are there. And I was expecting you to be in the comments straight away, but hopefully we'll see you a little bit later. But look, I think we were good. I think Southampton were. So I think it's probably, for me, a combination of the two. I don't think we were out of this world, but we got the job done. So, look, we're top of the league. We scored 4 goals. We could have had more. Kane, Son didn't really do much. Sorry, Will, again, and C Cubed and all those people that were getting upset with Sonny. I'm not bashing him. I'm just saying he didn't have a good game. So,
no.
So yeah, that's my take on it.
Yeah, I think I think it's important in these situations you don't get carried away with it, isn't it? Bringing the bit of reality into anything. That being said, I think it's probably the greatest performance by a football team in the history of the sport, and we are definitely doing the quadruple. The wing-backs played like there were multiple World Cup winners, and everybody else was just paling into insignificance compared to their prowess, I thought. The future is good, but it can easily become not so good when we fail to reach the 200-point mark. 114-point mark.
Yeah. 200 points is a challenge, I will admit. I mean, I'm sure there's a team out there who can hit 200 points, but I don't know who that might be. But yeah,
and we shall beat them.
Yeah.
Yes. Twice.
Yes.
Maybe we'll get 300.
Maybe.
Maybe. But to be fair, before the Southampton players came out, they were looking at each other and said, "You know what? Let's perform shit today. Let's get thrashed today." No, they didn't. They came out and did the best. We made them look shit. We played well against, yes, an average side. But if we'd come away from the game winning 2-1, like some people suggested, or 1-0, we all would have been sat here saying, "Oh, it was a tough win." I lied. I admit, I lied when I said I don't care about the performance. All that matters is the result. Is the continuation of last season's last three. Okay, Burnley wasn't that great, but we got a much-needed win. But certainly from the 5-0 away to Norwich, we brought that consistency over to Southampton. And during that run when we were winning games 5s and 4s and 5s, and that's 7 win out of 9, we brought that mentality over. And that was the biggest thing for me to see. Southampton aren't going to be the first and certainly not the last team to come to our Art Lane and get absolutely plummeted. And then maybe after a few have happened, some people might turn around. You know what? We're not that bad a team. I understand first game of the season, we could allow ourselves to get carried away. Next week's or this Sunday is the test. Let's wait and see. But yeah, get fucking carried away, man. We thrashed a Premier League team in Southampton. Let's jizz all we can.
I mean, look, even with the few exceptions of those teams that are sort of come up and then get relegated immediately, most Premier League sides will be of decent strength. You're not talking about a National League side or a Vanarama League side or whatever like that. They're Premier League players. This is the elite of football. Probably considered by many to be the best league in the world, the toughest league in the world. So there's a reason why it's the toughest league in the world. It's not just because of the Big Six. It's because most of the teams in that league are going to present a significant challenge. I thought we played well. I thought we could play better. But the team is still gelling. We've had a load of transfers in. There's loads of transfers hopefully going out. There's going to be changes, and that squad needs to settle. So yeah, as you say, it's not going to be the first time we're going to thrash someone, but there's going to be on the way. But we're still at the moment a good team. The significant thing for me is the change in the bench. The quality on the bench has significantly improved. What do you guys think about that fact? About the fact that we've strengthened there?
Not at all.
Yeah, well, we were.
What do you mean? We got Winks on the bench. Come on.
Yeah.
Winks, who hasn't done the honourable thing, and even I think I saw a tweet from Basuma again today saying number 38 only for this season, dropping Winks like under the bus. It's brilliant straight away, just brilliant. Yeah. So no, it's look, we 100%. Look at what we made, 5 substitutions. We brought on all the new players pretty much apart from Richarlison. Brilliant, in my opinion, the depth that we've got, but we needed it.
Yeah, sorry, go on, Bob.
No, I was just I agree with Barry 114%. We were counting the subs as they were coming on, weren't they, Rez? I was sat with Rez, by the way.
Yeah.
When the substitute, they were waiting around for about 5 minutes. We were like, is the ball going to go out of play? Is the ball going? It stayed in play for God knows how long, but for the 4 players to come off and the 4 players to come on, Perisic did his bit. Basuma looked good. Longley, we all love a Longley. He did well. And the other one, Doherty, that's it, Doherty. And of course, we made another substitution who I can't remember. But Lucas came on. So yeah, it was great. It was good, and the depth is hopefully going to get a bit more deeper by the end of the transfer window. Yeah.
So
I forgot, of
obviously
course, difficult to ignore the fact that Embolism Royale played played his part on the game, didn't he? And I think, looking at the bench, of course, the most obvious one is you look at Perisic coming on.
Yeah.
When have we had that sort of quality coming off the bench? It's been quite a while, I think. Long may it last. I think the other important part for me is making things work when you don't have the players, because I'm still far from convinced on the wing backs, but they made things happen in the attacking third of the pitch, and that's what we've been crying out for. There was no longer this fear. There was no longer the constant passing back. If they couldn't cross the ball very well, they didn't do that very successfully, but they did get into the box, and there was goal threat involved when they were doing it. You have to think, perhaps you could say that's strength on the bench that brought that about, because it looks to me, and I think everybody else is thinking the same thing, Perisic must have been having a bit of a word in their shell, and getting them to perform a bit. This is what you do when you want to be a great player. Just get at it, get busy, do the things the manager's asking for you, and affect the game. Playing sideways, playing nervously, you've got to play without fear. We're playing for Conte now. Let's get at it, and it showed. There was a huge amount of energy throughout the team, and as Bob rightly pointed out, we are playing a Premier League team still. It's not like we're playing non-league no-hopers. Southampton taught us a nasty lesson last season. We've turned that around this season. We gave them an absolute spanking. And they went down to the South Coast licking their wounds, because it could have been a lot worse if it wasn't for their goalkeeper and a few misses. Could have been looking at 8-1. And 8-1's ridiculous. You might as well call it 114-1 or something, haven't you?
Yeah, exactly.
Rez, another thing, we were speaking to the casual racist that is Sim on We Are Tottenham TV in the car. And we mentioned, talking about depth in the squad, the reason in my opinion, the reason Kulusevski had such a brilliant game is I know he wasn't on the bench that day, but he is looking at a Richarlison challenging his spot now. And Lucas seems a Conte favourite as well. I don't think he's nowhere near, obviously, as good as Kulu. But, there's challenges everywhere. Sessegnon's looking at Perisic. Emerson's looking at Doherty and possibly a Spence. In midfield, Bentancur and Højbjerg looking at a Skip and a Basuma. So there's challenges, threats to their own positions. Yeah, that's it. So hopefully it's onwards and upwards, and it brings up more. Just one thing I want to revise on. One thing I said regarding Sessegnon, and I've said this consistently, is he gets to the byline and he always passes back, or he gets forward and he always passes back. But you know what? I watched the Southampton game back. His pace takes him into space behind the defenders so quickly that it's very not very often that attackers managed to keep up with him. So sometimes he does need to pull it back to the closest player, because no one's been able to keep up with him. So, that's something that maybe we need to do. I mean, the fact we had 6 or 7 players when they did arrive in the box very, very occasionally just shows the attacking mindset of this very defensive coach. But yeah, Sessegnon, I think his pace outruns our attackers at times, which is weird when you think Sonny's involved and Cooley's involved in that as well. But the amount of times he pulled the ball back was simply because there weren't enough attackers in the box. So I hold my hands up. Maybe we should revise that opinion.
Doesn't that process, doesn't doing that stretch the opposition defense, giving space for other players to run into? I just worry that it's almost like a waste of pace for me, that someone who is that fast. I mean, listen, maybe it's a tactical thing, maybe it's the way Conte has told him to play. If it is, it's not for me to say. I don't understand how a player with that much pace checks back so often is the only thing for me. Again, if it's tactical, I understand. If not, I think there's something up here that needs fixing with him in terms of getting beyond players, because he's certainly got the speed for it. It might just be a case of he's frightened of doing it right now, which I suppose things. So let's have it. We'll go in depth now to the players. Obviously, we lined up with Hugo Romero. Oh yeah, Dyer, Davis, Embolism, Roddy, Hodgie, Sessi, Kulusexual, Sun, and Kane. So we'll go round. Nick, Hugo, give us your rating.
So apart from picking the ball out the net and that save in the second half, he didn't really have anything else to do. So, I mean, 6.5, 7 out of 10. There's not really much you could say to say he did any. You know, he didn't. It wasn't a case of we weren't ever threatened really, apart from that. You know, that chance in the second half, which he got a strong left hand to, and that was about it. There wasn't any nervous moments on the ball, but I guess against the better teams, we may see the old nervousness and the balls being pinged out and losing the ball, but we may not.
Expecting balls to be pinged out.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Nervously. He's just going
to
caressingly.
Onto that like button.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's just dropping it onto the like.
Do we have one of those Sunderland ball moments against Liverpool when it accidentally just flicks off his ball and goes into the goal?
Yeah, that would be interesting. Yeah. I think it's appropriate that we discuss the beast in our defence. Is mentioned by the beast in our lineup. Kuva, what was your thinking on Romero?
Oh, Romero! I thought you were talking about Royale, of course.
No,
not this on this occasion. Okay, fair enough.
I thought you said Royal Owl. I thought you said
yes, I did. Credit where it's due, I believe.
Yeah.
You've been crowned, Al. You've been crowned.
Yeah.
The Royal Owl.
The Royal
Owl.
Speaking of Al.
I'm going to the Newcastle game, and it'd be great to meet you guys. I know I've already met Nick, but I can meet him again. I don't mind. Because I have to get there. I'll get there around about 2:30, but I'm going to try and get there earlier. So I don't get bumped about or anything. I usually go into the west near the media shop. I go up one level, and I usually have me something to eat there by the first grill bar, and it's actually in the west stand.
I walk into a stand and people just buy me drinks. It's quite pleasant.
And every time they've always gone, no, Alan, put your wallet away. I usually do the driving.
I'll be absolutely shit-faced by half-time.
People, I just let you know, I only ever have one drink.
I'll get up about 3 o'clock, go on Spurs-themed with Eugene. And then in the afternoon, I like to go on Tommy Talk. How's life?
Hey, I'm nothing like him.
Yeah, so we can take cycling out after, so we're just on this load of bollocks. Nobody's watching anyway. So.
Excellent stuff. Back to the lineup. Kuva, Romero.
He was quiet for a change, really, wasn't he? I think it was just such an easy all-round performance by everybody that he didn't stand out like he usually does. Of course, there's always moments when Romero becomes Romero, but I think he was just all-round playing within himself this time. He didn't need to really enforce himself on the opposition because everybody else was doing it, and Southampton took what we gave them. Oh yeah.
Absolutely.
So I'll go for it. It's still a good all-round performance. A solid 7 out of 10.
Fantastic. Bobby, everyone's favourite central defender. Everyone's. Dyer. What did you make of that?
He played well, and he got a few new fans. Kim couldn't stop texting me saying, I thought Dyer was brilliant today. He's the future of our club. Constantly, Dyer this, Dyer that. Actually got a bit jealous the way she kept on going on about Dyer. Dyer's this, I want to marry Dyer and all this. Constantly.
Okay,
it was all right.
Now.
yeah. It was good. He had a pass on him. We were in line of some of his passing in the first half, weren't we, Rez? And he found the odd ball. I can't remember him making a mistake. Maybe he did, but no, he was good. He was probably one of our better defenders on Saturday, which against an average poor Southampton team who were made look even poorer, an averager, if that's a word. He was good for me. 7.25.
You sure it's 7.25, not 7.24?
7.26.
All right, fair enough. Before we go on to the next, remember, ask us anything. At the end of the show, we're going to answer your Ask Us Anything questions. So get your questions in now. We'll star them and address them at the end of the show. Nick, you get to talk about Davis and the long lay that came on.
The long lay. Well, Look, I think Davis came in. I think there was always a question of who was going to start. Was it Davis? Was it Longley? Was it Sanchez? I think he, going back on what Kuva was saying about Romero, I think for the first, 20, 25 minutes, Romero was very quiet, and the rest of the back line played really well. He was driving forward. He was firing the balls out, not his balls, but the football, both sides, and he had a really good game. I don't think it was obviously Longley was waiting on the sideline, like you said, for about 3 or 4 minutes before he came on, but it's just nice to be able to bring on someone like that rather than a Sanchez or a Rodon or someone that we would have done that in the past. So I think I'd go for a 7.114 for Ben Davis.
Excellent. Yeah, I'd go with that. Your favourite player, Kuva. I mean, basically, you love this player about as much as Kim loves Dyer. Basically. A lot. So
possibly.
How did he do?
To be fair, I think he did rather well. He was full of mistakes, but he was also full of good things as well. And at the time when I'm watching it, or doing the watch along with Shawnee on Spurs Talk Show, and my phrase at the time was, "He's explosive pick and mix." Because that's what he is. You're not sure what was going to happen, but something was happening. So I'm not quite sure how to rate him on that. When it was happening, he looked like a 9 out of 10. When it was going badly or he did something a little bit silly, he only looked a 2 out of 10. So in the spirit of being fair on markings, I'm going to give him a 0.200.
Excellent. Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah. What's the first figure?
I think 114. Sorry.
Okay.
114.200.
114.200. Yeah, that's good. That's good. And Doherty, when he came on, obviously he was only on for a few minutes.
Oh, he can have a point as well. Let's be fair.
That's fair enough. Bob, Rodrigo Bentancur. What was your view of him?
Yeah, he played well. First of all, I need to get my hearing sorted. First, I heard Royal Owl, and now I just heard Kuva say Sean's Spurs Stalk Show, and it kind of brings a whole new meaning to
That's what it was.
Didn't you watch? It was a bit after Watershed.
Have you seen it? They basically they get these sort of like body cams, and they just follow someone through the streets.
I wondered where that heavy breathing was coming over me.
That wasn't you they were following. They were following me.
All right.
I told you at the time. You didn't listen. I kept saying
every Saturday the same, and still you don't know.
No, the thing that annoys me is he keeps trying to take my stalker. That's the thing. You know, that's what annoys me. God's sake, Bob, get it together, man.
What's a bit of stalking?
Tell us about Rodrigo.
Rodrigo played well. Again, I believe the likes of Skip and Basuma on the bench will bring out the better in him, and Højbjerg, obviously you speak about him in a bit, but yeah, he looked good. He was the more forward thinking of the two midfielders, and yeah, I can't remember him giving the ball away, unlike another player who we'll speak about shortly in a bit. But yeah, good solid performance. Basuma came on and he had that shot. We thought he was nearly in. You watch our match of the day, we realised it was a waste of jizz. It was well wide. So, but yeah, he played well, brought a bit of muscle into that midfield, and yeah, you can see he's going to be a good addition to the starting 11 and the squad. So yeah, Bentancur for me, just behind Kulusevski for man of the match. So I'd give him a 8.1, and Basuma a 6, 5, 6.
Yeah, they were only on for about 4 minutes most things, so it's difficult to think. Nick Hodgie, Pierre-Emile Højbjerg, what did you think?
Yeah, I think he was going from how he started in kind of pre-season. He started off a little bit nervy, but the two of them, like you said, between him and, like Bob said, between him and Rodrigo Bentancur, were, you know, they're looking behind over their shoulders. Really, obviously, we know there's a bit of a gap now with Skip and his unfortunate stud through the boot. But yeah, I thought he did his job. He didn't set the world on fire. But yeah, he did a solid job. I don't think, you know, if you compare him to the rest of the team, you know, he had a good performance. He didn't have a bad performance. Otherwise, he would have been hauled off a lot. And he didn't. He stayed on. So look, I think it gave a bit of depth, and it allowed Bentancur to kind of run the show. Really, you know, there was plenty of times with Bentancur where he had 2 or 3 players around him, and you were thinking, "Oh God, he's going to lose the ball," and he just got out of it. It's if he was stuck in a tight spot, let's just say, be able to be able to find his way out quite easily. So yeah, I mean, I think another 7.114 for Højbjerg.
Fantastic. On to the man that we were discussing, Ryan Sessegnon. Kuva, what did you think?
Well, he's improving. He's certainly getting forward more than he has been. Looks more confident about getting into the opposition's box. So, yeah. I think let's hope this development continues, because I think confidence seems to be a major thing with Sessegnon. He looked a lot more lively and making the runs. Got a goal. Could have had another one. All round pretty decent performance, but you still.
What do you make of? What do you make of this? Kim saying that Conte was going ape shit at Cess early on in the game, and that goes back to what we were talking about in terms of his sort of running and then checking back whether or not it's tactical, whether or not it's something that he's doing. I mean, what do you make of that?
A small pile of things.
Excellent.
Let's go. I think it's just that.
And I add 2 more beans. What do I have?
A small pile of things. Yes, indeed.
Some beans.
I think it does come down to it. We all scream out for it as well when we watch the wing backs at times. Get forward. It's what he's supposed to be doing. Get into that opposition third of the field. I think that's probably the message that had to get through to Sessegnon. It looks like it did. he always, it's again, it comes back to that feeling of confidence. If he starts off in a confident way, he's got the ability to certainly trouble the opposition. We need to see it a little bit more. Perhaps that's what Conte was yelling at him for. Just, do what he's supposed to be doing. Just terrify the opposition rather than worrying about what they're going to be doing to us. Go and force the issue. Take the initiative. And I think he did well for it after that. Perhaps a little bit off the boil by the time the substitution came about. But it done enough. Scored a goal. Affected the game. I think he's going to be pretty happy with that. And I've got to give him a generous 0.200 as well.
Okay.
Sorry, 114.
114, yeah. And Perisic, when he came on? I mean, it's interesting. Again, we keep going back to it. Interesting. When Perisic came on, as soon as he came on, he sprinted right up to the sort of far to the what's it called, to the byline. And he was sort of stuck there. And then almost in the next phase, he was back defending as well. I mean, isn't that what we want to see from Sessegnon?
Yes, absolutely. So Perisic's been a supreme athlete his entire career. So no surprise seeing that. If that rubs off on Perisic, then I think we will get plenty of yeahs in tonight. We were devoid of it on Saturday night, I feel. So I think if Perisic really rubs himself off on Sessegnon,
hold on. Rubs one out. Is that no?
We should see a lot more. We should see
the innuendo police.
Yeah. We should then see a lot more thrust from Sessegnon and a happy ending in the box.
Excellent stuff.
Oh my god!
Wales team again. Bob, Kuvasexy. That's apt. Kuvasexy. What did you make of him?
But following from Kuva, it's all very clear. We all want to see Sessegnon get deeper. Kulusevski. I think he was brilliant. We touched on it before. The likes of he knows Richarlison. Richarlison is there challenging him. Will bring the best out of him. And don't forget, last season he had a good start, but he did have a bit of a dip in form. I know he was rested against Leicester. He was dropped. We all knew he was dropped, and Lucas was given the starting berth. But the pressure got to Lucas. He couldn't even pass a ball that day. We were doing a watch along with Sim, and he was absolutely rubbish. Came off after 55 minutes, and Kulusevski came on and he changed the game. He was borderline man of the match after only playing 30 odd minutes. So it's good to see him back. He probably needed that kick up the backside. Great goal by Sessegnon, but we have to give credit to that cross. What a cross. And it was only a few minutes earlier, when it Rez, that he tried it and failed miserably, went too long. And he thought, no, I'm going to try it again. And it was pinpoint. Brilliant. And apparently him and Sessegnon had conversations before the game. So, look, I'll make the crosses, you make the run. And, it paid off.
It's amazing. It is amazing. I watched that performance, and it was just sex. It was beautiful. Just full on. He easily just took the man of the match because he was head and shoulders above everyone else. Obviously, different positions and stuff, but yeah. Nick, what happened? What happened to Sonny? What?
I can't believe after what I said on Saturday night and all the grief that happened in the comments that I've got Son. It was
almost think I engineered it that way, wouldn't you?
Yeah, absolutely. I think it has been engineered that way. Look, for me, I said on Saturday night, my view, he had one of the worst games that I saw in a long time. Probably, I'm going to say, I did say ever, but obviously then I got shot down by C Cubed and Will, and we love you guys. Look, I think Bob probably summed it up perfectly when he said for the first 10, 15 minutes he was shocking, and then he grew into the game. But yeah, look, I think it was one of his poorer games. He had that chance that he just kind of, I don't know whether he hit it into the floor. But yeah, it wasn't a great game. And he obviously had a couple of chances where he could have scored. He did provide the assist for Dyer's goal. But apart from that, he was very quiet. But look, that's what's exciting, because if we score 4 goals and Son and Kane aren't on the score sheet, when they're firing, it's someone is going to get an absolute roasting. So yeah, look, for me, I think it was probably a 6.114. Although the stats may have given him a 7.9 as a rating. 7.200. But look, I think it wasn't great. But look, it will get both Son and Kane. It'll fire them up for Sunday. So that's all if they'd have gone and scored, 2 or 3 each and just kind of walked off the pitch, they wouldn't have been as hungry going into the Chelsea game. And I think it's probably fired them up more to say, look, the defence have shown us how to do it, so let's go out there and batter Chelsea on Sunday.
Absolutely. And finally, Kuva, Harry Kane.
It wasn't very typical of Harry Kane, was it? He wasn't involved very much. There were little bits that he did well, but generally bypassed in the game. And I think this is a good thing rather than a bad thing, because it shows that our flanks were working. The Conte plan's working, the creativity's coming from there. We know he's there in the middle if needed. If one area of the pitch is breaking down with our attacking play, revert to what we can do as well. We've always got that option of Kane and then the exquisite floated ball over the top for Sonny to run onto. It's having lots of weapons. And I think Kane sometimes he's almost had the day off, didn't he? He's just there if needed, taking up the right positions. I think I'm going to go for an there as well. And he was poised, ready to plunge in there when needed.
Ready to penetrate.
Absolutely, willing to penetrate the box when needed.
And fuck him up the arse. Sorry, that's not innuendo, is it? That's not innuendo. Sorry, man.
That's not even a single entendre.
No. Sorry.
Straight in, no loop.
Got a bit carried away. Right.
Going in dry, I believe is the expression.
It's very much the different from what we saw so many times last season, where on the season before, when the team looks towards Kane as Leonidas up against the masses, and he's leading that great army of 200 Spartans.
Yes,
in the famous film 200. Yeah, I think it might be 114 actually, but it looked like 200 at first. But
I'll just go and count. One sec. You guys carry on.
I can hear him stamping.
Yeah. I think it was 3.
3 Spartans. Yeah. It could have been. It could have been.
Yeah.
Wouldn't it really needed VAR for that back then? Would have been able to establish a few things. Rez, have we got anything back from the computer yet?
Yeah. It was 114.
114. Yeah, cool. I forgot to carry the 86.
86. Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Delete.
So, how long ago was that?
Was it about 200 years ago?
No. How long ago was it? Yeah, it was about 200. But I thought they were going to fight it on a specific day, didn't they? But then they got an appointment somewhere.
Out of the blue. The 11th of April. That was the date they were supposed to fight on. Yeah. So the fact that we scored 4 goals and none of them were scored by Kane and Son, that for me was it's encouraging. It's the fact that we seem to now have firepower elsewhere. What do you guys make of the fact that they had a dry day? Kane and Son.
I'm saying nothing because I'm going to get clipped. So
I think it's a bit early, isn't it? Say we don't need Sonny. I mean, Son was shit. He was shit. First 10, 15 minutes, he was shit. We were right in line again, Rez. The amount of times he gave the ball away, But to his credit, like every world-class player does, turned it around, got more into the game, and second half was absolutely brilliant. First half, towards the first end of first half, he was coming into the game. But the first 10, 15 minutes, we were worried. We were all looking around thinking, what's wrong with Sonny? Kane he'll get goals. He'll be the golden boot, but I think it's probably a bit too early. I mean, remember we scored 5 against Newcastle last season and 4 against someone else, and Kane hadn't scored in 2 games, and we were getting 13 goals or something in 3 games, something like that, about 12 goals. I think it's only a matter of time before they're on the score sheet. Bit too early to say we've got more firepower just as it is. Bit early to say that we can do without a Kane and a Sonny. By the way, there's nothing wrong with being a Kane and a Son FC. Every big team relies on big players. Man City on their day 9 times out of 10 are a Kevin De Bruyne FC. Liverpool last season were a Salah FC. Barcelona in their prime were a Messi FC. PSG at times are an Mbappe FC. We at times, normally most of the time, are reliant on our 2 world-class players. You can piss off as well. If that's Simeon, yeah.
Some casual racists in the house.
Yeah, casual racist. Big up. It's casual racist.
Also Brian, who's a massive racist, as we know.
But yeah, nothing wrong being a Kane and a Sonny FC. We are.
I thought you were going to say nothing wrong with being a racist.
Yeah, no. but no.
As well. Everyone watching and everyone on the panel is a massive racist. We know this already. It's part. You have to be. You know, I'm a monumental racist. I hate everyone.
Yeah, for sure,
including my own race. Anyway, you were saying, sorry. Yeah, I agree. I mean, the idea that we shouldn't have a big player in there, and that when we've got a big player, we shouldn't be reliant on him, is ridiculous. So what's the point in having big players? You know, why don't Man City go and buy, average players if big players aren't important? Big players are important for a reason.
Come on, how about Winks?
Yeah.
How about Winks?
They can go and buy Winks, can't they?
Yeah, exactly. They can have Winks, and we can have De Bruyne, and then that would be great for Man City, right?
Yeah,
rather than buying
one in, one out. It's fair.
Very, very true. Yeah, no, absolutely.
In fact, we would be doing them a favour because of the financial fair play aspect.
Fair play thing, absolutely.
And they'd be getting a homegrown player.
Yeah,
definitely.
It all makes sense. Let's do it.
Or just care in the community.
Sold.
Yes, indeed. Unless it's the community in Marbella, perhaps.
We'll touch on that later.
Yeah.
Am I still? By the way, am I still? Apparently, I was echoing earlier. Am I still echoing, guys?
Echoing, guys.
Am I coming through okay?
Echoing. Can't hear you, Rez. Rez, I can't hear you.
Oh, no,
I think you're on mute.
No. So just remember. No, of course not. Remember, ask us anything. Get your questions in now. Preface them in the chat with @SSSS.
No football questions, please. No football questions.
Well, no, you can ask a football question, but this is Shelfside Spurs show, so we generally will just ignore them. So but do get them in, and we will answer any question that is asked at the end. All right. Anything else on the match, guys? Did anyone want to touch on any other points of interest? First game of the season. What was the atmosphere? Talk about the atmosphere. I thought it was okay. I
don't know about you, Rez. There was so many tourists in the South Stand.
All right, bloody hell, mate.
What? Sorry, there was a tourist in the West Stand sat next to Rez.
He even had to. We even had the temerity to use the lift.
Yeah,
Stairs.
Yeah, no. For me personally, it was the perfect day. Rez, big up to you, mate. Sorting those tickets out, helping me out with those. Because we did queue up. I saw the stairs. I'm like, oh shit, I'm going to do this, and then Reds were like, no, we're getting a lift. And yeah, it was very, very touching. Really appreciate that. The day itself, meeting up with all the guys, having a 30 quid kebab. Fucking hell.
Service charge as well, don't forget.
Service charge. Oh my God.
Hell, man.
But that's why I didn't eat. I've not eaten since because they skipped me. But it's no, it was absolutely brilliant meeting everyone. First game back since you know what. I was in Coma, did you know? And it was Mum's birthday as well. Absolutely brilliant. Love you, Mum. Miss you. And 4-1. 4-1. You were hoping for more goals, weren't you, Rez? And to be fair, we were 4-1 up after what, 60 odd minutes? And I'm like, oh, we're bound to get some more. But then you turn around and said, how fitting would it have to be 4-1? It's going to have to be 4-1. And I walked out of the stadium and Iggy's there going 4-1, 4-1, had to be. Everyone, Ben, big up. It was the perfect day, man. Absolutely enjoyed it. Loved it. With regards to the atmosphere, I think it was telling, very telling, that after we went 1-0 down, no one panicked. I don't think there's anyone around us that panicked. It was more of a, come on, lads, let's sort this out. There was no panic whatsoever. It wasn't the same old Spurs mentality, a mentality that Conte doesn't bring to the club, and we shouldn't be replicating that. It was a case of, right, come on, lads, plenty of time, let's get it sorted. And it was easy. It was easy. It was easy to come back. And there was a sense of it's only a matter of time within the stadium, which I've not experienced for quite some time, certainly since peak Poch. So yeah, it was good. And being at first game of the season, you know, after all the build-up, it wouldn't have been surprised if everyone had that same old Spurs, here we go again, Spurs mentality. But no, the players brought that mentality from the Norwich game. The fans brought the mentality from Norwich game. And I think, like I said in a tweet earlier, the sooner we get the fan base lose this same old Spurs mentality and immerse ourselves into Conte must win. Into Conte's must win mentality, the better. Because I'll tell you what, some fans out there who would be happy with a trophy and scraping fourth, Conte not sitting there thinking, you know what, we'll scrape to fourth and win a trophy. That's not his mindset. He wants it all. Believe it, want it, expect it.
Absolutely. Any further things on Kuvasexy's sexy performance? Anyone want to add anything to what we've already discussed? I thought, again, I cannot put it in stronger terms or in more sort of visceral terms than just it was pure sex. It was unbelievable watching what he was doing on that day. It really was. So anyone want to add anything to that?
No, I've got a semi just thinking about his performance.
What? Are you invested in the house?
Yeah. Wow. No, it comes partially off.
Oh, right, okay.
So.
Yeah.
Anyway, that actually leads on to the next section, which is the bit that Sophie's been waiting for. So, Sophie, you need not wait any longer. Yeah. Yes,
she's gone.
It's time for Rez's rant, and today's subject is what the living fuck is a Juve reject in inverted commas. Okay. Oh my good God. Players move clubs. That's it. That's the end of my rant.
What
more do you want? What more is there to be said? Players move clubs. They don't stay at a club forever or very rarely. The idea that because one player has gone from one club to another that he's a reject, okay, that's bollocks. All right. Maybe the manager didn't rate him. Maybe the manager didn't see how he fits into his system. Maybe there was a personality conflict with the manager. Maybe the club needed some money. Maybe they wanted to bring in a different player. Yeah, just because Kuvasexy and Bentancur left Juve doesn't make them rejects. Now, before other people jump on me and say, "Oh, he's saying the transfer window is really good." No, I'm not saying that. I'm saying that we got two good players, right? I'm not talking about the quality of the transfer window, but Kuvasexy and Bentancur were upgrades on what we had, and we are lucky to have got them. However it came about, they're not fucking reject. Get over yourselves and stop disrespecting two really good players. Yeah, they're not rejects. They are players that we identified, we went to, Juve accepted our offer, and they play for us now. Yeah, get behind those two fucking players and stop calling them rejects. End of rant.
Okay, that was quite short.
No, didn't see any real need for that, but
yeah,
it's your
We've
show.
been hearing it a lot recently. We've been hearing it a lot.
Rejects?
Yeah. No, they're not rejects. Right? It's really, it's a bit, it's just a bit irritating where it's that if for us to turn around right now and say, oh, because we won 4-1, that means we're going to win everything ever forever is
well done. Good.
It's ridiculous, right? We don't know what's going to happen. We might win, we might lose. We've got to see what happens, right? But at the same time, the opposite end of the scale of that is turning around and saying we're going to win nothing and that we're shit. Yeah, it's not honesty, which is what I've heard it referred to, or realism, which is also what I've heard it referred to. It's just the same. It's the other side of the same coin. We can't predict. Those of us that say, want to believe that we might do something. It's just that belief. It's not based on anything. It's just a belief. Yeah. But that doesn't make us any less right or wrong than those that say we're going to win nothing. But saying that we're going to win nothing is no more or less honest or realistic as saying we are going to win something. Yeah. In the same way that saying a player that has left one club for another is a reject. Yeah. It all blends together. We need to start getting behind the team. One thing that disappointed me about the atmosphere on Saturday was that it wasn't sustained. Now, obviously, expecting it to be sustained to the same level as it was with the North London derby is probably asking a bit much because it was Southampton. But I was really hoping that first game of the season, we could have at least approached the cauldron that we created against Arsenal last season. Because it was almost like when we did that, it was like, oh, wow, this is what we as a fan base can do. And we didn't really get very close to it. And it's that cynicism that Spurs fans have seems to be creeping back into our psyche after what happened last season, where we improbably got fourth and got back into the Champions League, where we really showed our teeth, where we really showed what we were capable of. That for me is disappointing. And this, again, the talk of the Juve reject, the talk of us being happy clappers, stuff like that has been irritating me for the last week or so since the season started and just before. It's like, just, you don't lose anything by believing. Yeah. You don't lose anything. Your life is not diminished by believing in something that might not happen.
Wanting it, Rez. Wanting it. Expecting. Be absolutely gutted. Distraught for not winning a trophy and not getting fourth and not getting third. Be distraught. Allow yourself to be gutted because of that, rather than thanking fuck that we've just managed to get fourth and got to a couple of finals. Raise the bar, man. By the way, I've got a tan. I just realised.
You got one?
I am the only Indian in the UK who actually gets a very good tan. But my office does face the sun most of the day. But yeah, I just thought I'd share that with you guys. Look.
Excellent. You got tan lines. Yeah.
There you go.
Fantastic.
I thought you were going into a
ding. Yeah.
Right. That's Bobby out. So that was my rant. This is an opportunity for you guys to potentially rant as well. Today saw the release of our new third kit. I don't have a picture because I'm a lazy ass and I couldn't be bothered to go and find one. No, it's because I was at the dentist. But the new kit is out today. What do you guys think? Wonderful or shite?
What time was your dentist appointment?
6 o'clock.
I thought it'd be 2:30.
Yeah. It was at 6.
Okay. Never mind.
So, what do you guys think? Have you guys seen the third shirt? Have you guys?
Was it
seen
in the
third
city?
shirt?
Was your dead sportman in the city?
Sort of in the city, yeah, Camden.
So was
yeah,
Six in the City then?
Yeah.
Yeah, Six in the City.
Vomit inducing.
Yeah. So, what do you guys think of the? What do you guys think of the third kit? Kim saying vomit inducing.
No, I think that's a nickname for me. Yeah.
To me, it just reminds me of a goalkeeper shirt. There's nothing too special on it for me. Not that inspiring.
Rant about it. Go on, Kuva. Go on. That's what it's there for.
I'm ranting with the same energy that went into the design.
Fair enough. Yeah, I can see that. I can see that. So
I
I
think we're all underwhelmed. Let's just say by the fact that the designers at Nike have decided to give it to a 4-year-old and design the kits. I mean, I personally, the scuba diving kit looks better in real life than it does in a picture. A bit like Rez, Bob, and Kuva, they look better in real life than they do on screen.
Fucking
Look, I think they've tried to go a little bit out there because of last season. We had the bus seat away kit. We had the purple concoction for the third kit. So they've tried to do something a little bit crazy. But yeah, I'm with Ben. I think it's probably the favorite out of the three.
Is that the one?
But Jacob doesn't. Yes, that's the one.
That's the one.
Because I'm just looking at it for the first time. So
yeah. Jacob doesn't like it. Brian doesn't. I'm guessing Brian doesn't like it, given the tone. But yeah, Bobby likes the alternate more than the home and away kits, which is weird. Stephen doesn't give a shit, which is fair enough. I mean, for me, I don't like the away kit. I don't like it at all. It just, for me, it's just wrong. I don't know what's wrong with it. It sits badly on the eye, for want of a better word. That one isn't much better, but it is a bit better in my view than the away kit. You know, so if someone said to me, which would you, if you had to have one of them, which would you have? I'd have the third kit rather than the away kit. But that's just me.
I like it. I really do like it. It's, yeah, like you say, it's better than the away kit, which just like someone's putting some blocks together and it looks unfinished, doesn't it? Home kit's a home kit, but yeah, like yourself, if I had to buy a non-home kit, I'd definitely be going for the third kit. I think it'd look good on as well, especially with a tanned Indian.
Yes, definitely. I think so. I think a tanned Indian is the demographic that they were aiming for with it.
Yes,
that's what I reckon. Yeah. So when are you going to buy it?
A Blindian.
Yeah.
Blindian. Yes, that's right.
But no. Sorry.
Yeah, Mark likes the away kit. He's ordered it. Arrives tomorrow. Big up to you, Mark. Glad you like it. So, chaps, Sunday, bloody Sunday. Chelsea are awaiting us. They're not doing very well. They've got no strikers.
Yeah, but Rez, you know they're going to be bang up for it on Sunday, regardless of what happens. They're going to be bang up for it on Sunday. However, we are going to win, and we're gonna still be at the top of the table. So yeah, that's. I mean, it's going to be an interesting game. They didn't have like you said, Chelsea didn't have a great start against Everton, but like Kim says, we owe those motherfuckers a proper rotten.
Yeah,
easy, love.
Well,
Kim, are you talking about Chelsea or are you talking about us four? I don't know. I don't know what you're talking about.
Column A, column B, I think.
Yeah.
And Sunday is a big one for Kim. I don't know whether she's talking about the game again. Yeah. She's
promises.
Not there, I think. But no, I mean, Bob knows that when Kim goes raw, she goes raw, right? She's been banned. She's been banned from wank.
She's in the wank to wank mode.
Yeah. So yeah, I reckon that they're there for the taking. I agree with you, Nick, 100%. For whatever reason, even though they're a club made up of, or they used to be, and less so now, but they were a club made up. They were a built team. There was nothing that was actually Chelsea about them, their players. It was, what's it called? They always decide to up their game against Spurs, but they feel like a club that's brittle at the moment, and one that's in transition of a sort with the change of ownership. I've been saying it that I think Chelsea fans who expect a continuation of Abramovich-esque spending under the new regime are in for a very, very rude awakening. They'll have money to spend for the moment, but it won't last. But right now, they've not done a huge amount. They've bought players, yes, but just doesn't seem to have gelled yet for them. There's
gelled. Tuchel's got away with it, man. He is. You know what? How much did Werner cost? 50 odd, 60 million.
50 odd million.
Yeah, it was under Lampard. Fair enough, but the guy's had 2 years or year and a half. Well, 2 years with him, and he couldn't bring the best out of him. Lukaku, £100 million player, brought in, couldn't get the best out of Lukaku. It's all Lukaku.
Yeah,
sent him back after a year. Havertz, 70 odd or whatever million it was, again brought in, not brought the best out of him. How much is this Tuchel guy going to get away with? And he's still looked upon as a possible elite. He's living off that Champions League game where, let's be honest, Pep, another twat, fucked up by changing his tactics in the final. Tuchel is nowhere near elite. His man management is non-existent. There's no way he could have done what Conte did with our team last season. I have not seen a player who he's made better at Chelsea. Who? Rudiger was coming to the fore under Lampard. Kante has lost a bit of form because he doesn't know. I don't know. Kovacic, probably the only player. But again, he was brought in by Lampard. I cannot remember a player who's progressed under Tuchel. And I think Kim said it. I think now's a perfect time to play him. I don't think it'll be a thrashing. I agree with Iggy. We'll go there. They will bring their A game. It's the final for Chelsea. But I think
is that what you're agreeing with?
1-0.
Is that what you're agreeing with?
Yeah. You know what they say about men wearing pink shirts? Anyway, I think it'll be a smash and grab, and we'll win either 1-0 or 2-1. It'll be a smash and grab. It won't be pretty, but I think we'll get that win, and I'll be happier with we had a 3-1 under Poch, of course we did, but I think we'll be I'll be just as happy grabbing a win, as long as it is a win away at Chelsea. But I think Tuchel, man, is getting away with it. And when you talk about Chelsea, everyone seems to talk about Bowley and the players, Sterling today. That might turn out to be a good signing. But it says everything when Sterling's sitting in the press conference saying, I wasn't going to get a starting berth at Man City anymore. I wasn't going to get any minutes, so I thought I'd come here. You know...
I didn't realise that he said that.
He said that. I wasn't going to get the minutes at Man City. I knew I'd get the opportunity at Chelsea. Yeah. So, and it just showed where the club is at right now. So, yeah.
Quite possibly, you could call him a Man City reject, really, couldn't you?
Yeah, he's a Man City reject.
That's right, yeah. Again, guys, remember, ask us anything at the end of the show. Get your questions in now. Put at SSSS at the beginning. Remember, football, as this is a football show, right? Football questions are of no importance to us. But do get your questions in. Ask us anything, literally anything, okay? And we'll answer.
Oh, sorry, we're going to win 4-1 at Stamford Bridge. Sorry.
There you go. 4-1 against Chelsea. We've had 5-0 from Mark Cousins. A smash and grab, let's call it 2-1 from Iggy. Any other predictions, guys? Nick, what do you reckon the score's going to be?
Go for it then. Yep.
Oh,
all right, not go for it then. Shut up, Nick. I'll go.
We'll go to sleep, Nick. I'll wake you up when it's
I think we're overlooking the scoreline. We're due. I think we all should be looking ahead and fully confident, and we can absorb those 114 Chelsea goals that they're going to score because we will be scoring 200. And let's raise the bar to that new level.
Yeah,
because the bar was
114.
I think picking up bars is what this picking up in bars maybe this season is what we should be doing. And just see how many can get under the floorboards there, Rez.
Excellent.
Or in this car boot.
Or in my car boot, absolutely. Or both. I mean, there's a process, guys. There is a process. It starts with the boot and ends under the floorboard. But obviously there's mincing and chopping and stuff like that in the meantime. So yeah. There's
I wonder what was happening earlier, Rez, because you said the scaffolding was coming down, but they're obviously moving on to digging a bigger hole in the basement. So
I should be the scaffolding is coming down. Sorry, I apologize. I should have put the quotation marks. I completely forgot. Anyway, it's that time, guys. Now, obviously, I don't know how much you guys know, but certainly me and Nick are enormous fans of Richard Osman. Yeah. And so we thought that we would do an homage to that paragon of beautiful television quiz show making. Pointless.
Oh, okay.
Pointless. And it's our version. It's time for Kuvaless.
Yes.
So the point of this is that we ask Kuva, in this instance, questions, and he has to give us answers that can, under no circumstances, be real in any way, shape, or form. Beautiful. Okay, that's how it's going to work. So
this is genuinely pointless.
Yeah.
Yes. Basically. Yeah.
Okay.
A bit like Shelf-Side Spurs show, basically.
Yeah, but you do get 114 points for getting the right answer.
Possibly.
Which is never going to be the right answer.
Got to avoid getting 114 points.
The trap is set, in fact.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Right. Okay.
Absolutely.
Yes. And you all know about traps being set.
Of course. How else?
Let's go for an R, yeah.
Yeah. So, are you ready, Kuva? That's the first question. Are you ready?
Yes.
See, that's the answer because that's the right answer. So you get points for that. You got 114 points. You're already off to a terrible start. Okay, terrible start. There you go. So the first question, the first proper question is: Robbie Keane is famously Spurs' 12th all-time top goal scorer with 122 goals in 306 appearances. But which country did Keane represent in the 2006 World Bakewell Tart Cook-Off?
Who's answering this one?
You are. It's
Kuva.
I incorrectly said I was ready on the first round. I'm just proving it.
We do need an answer for you. Failure to answer gets you 900,000.
I think it would have been quite clearly Outer Mongolia, I believe.
Outer Mongolia. We'll now go to our panelists to find out whether or not you were right or wrong. Nick, was that the correct answer or not?
That's incorrect.
That's incorrect. Bob, was that correct or incorrect?
Incorrect. The right answer was Bradford.
Excellent. There you go, Kuva. You get 0 points for that. Well done. Very, very good start. Very strong start after the penalty at the beginning. The next question is Spurs super legend, and he is a super legend, Øyvind Leonardsen, was famously from Norway. But how many Monster Munch could he fit into his mouth? For a bonus point, which was his favourite flavour?
That is a tricky one, but obviously Norway being close to my heart, I do keep up on these things. I know that he was particularly fond of blancmange flavour, and he could fit up to 114 in his mouth.
Okay.
But no more than that, because it would have been ridiculous otherwise.
Ridiculous. Yes. Yes. Okay. So, in answer to the question, you think that he can get 114 Monster Munch in his mouth, and the flavor that he favors, famously, is blancmange flavored. Right.
Absolutely.
Bob, was first of all, was the main question correct or incorrect?
The question was correct, but the answer in my what I think was the flavor was chicken, and how many could he fit into his? None, because he was allergic to cocks.
He was allergic to cocks, right? So, in terms of Kuva's answer, was that correct or incorrect?
Incorrect.
Or both?
Or both.
Incorrect.
Yeah, incorrectly
correct.
correct.
Incorrectly correct. That's good.
Yeah.
That's good. Nick, was that correct, incorrect, or both?
What was the question again?
It's on the screen.
That was the question. Was that correct, incorrect, or both?
Correct. Yeah, correct. That was the question. Yeah.
Okay, that's good. So, Kuva, you get 114 points for a correct and 0 points for an incorrect. So that's 228 points you're on now, which is way more than 200. That's just ridiculous now, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's early doors, though, I feel.
Yeah.
It is early doors. It is early doors.
Are we having a bonus round by any chance? Or
possibly. I think the last question is probably was close enough. Okay, so Bill Nicholson famously managed the Spurs double winning side in 1961. But what colour did he favour when it came to choosing a wig for his pet gerbil, Ronnie?
Oh, it would have to be one of at least 200 shades. Which one would it be? I think I would have to go with selection 114, which is a murderous pink, I feel.
Murderous pink. So you believe that he dressed his pet gerbil Ronnie up in a murderous pink wig?
I believe so.
Fantastic. Nick, was that correct, incorrect, or both?
Both. I don't know why. I don't know why, but yeah.
So that's a potential 57 points there, possibly.
Yeah. I don't think you can have both, can you? Isn't that like what's that word? Paraplegic or something like that?
Paraplegic, yes. Paraplegic answer, yeah.
Yeah, paraplegic.
Bob, was that correct, incorrect, or both?
Well, the answer was red, wasn't it? To camouflage the blood the gerbil had after Bill Nick run over it about 6 times to make sure it was dead. So
I prefer Bobby K's answer, a hot pink G-string costume made with a fluffy tail. But
yeah.
We'll go with Bob's. We'll go with Bob's answer.
Yeah.
That doesn't quite fit with the question asked, because I said what colour.
I think questions are very overrated nowadays.
No, I think what Bobby K. Ask the question, Rick. I'll ask the question.
300 points.
I'll ask the question. Bobby K, what are you dressing up as tonight? Okay.
A hot pink G-string costume made with a fluffy tail. Yeah, we already knew that though. That's not adding to our store of knowledge. You know, we knew that.
Yeah, Kuva was incorrect.
Was incorrect. Excellent. So you have 114 points knocked off from your 228. So you're back on 114. But then Nick awarded you 57. So now you're on. I can't do the maths. 200. So Alf Ramsey famously made fame by famously winning the World Cup for England in 1966. But at which famous British landmark did he famously lose his virginity?
Well, that's another tricky one. I'm sensing the numbers 1, 1, and 4 yet again, which makes me think golf course, Alf Ramsey. Golf course, Ramsey. Was it Ipswich? Just after Jason Cundy had scored a fantastic winner.
Yeah.
Excellent.
That was a draw.
There was the famous winner in a 1-1 draw. Yes, absolutely. Yes. Bob, was that answer correct, incorrect, or both, or neither?
It was incorrect, and certainly when you think he actually lost his virginity at Mr. Patel's Corner Curry House while taking it up the onion bargee. Yeah,
was that the Curry House Simple we were going to?
Yeah, that's the one. Yeah, that's the one.
Right.
So Kuv was incorrect. So it was, good.
He was incorrect. Nick, was that correct, incorrect, both, or neither?
Well, it was incorrect. I thought he lost it in the toilets at Wembley Stadium in a semi cup final. Yeah.
A semi-cup final, the
semi-final.
I
don't know. As I was saying it didn't make sense, and then I said it, and it still didn't make sense.
Yeah,
Barry and his semis,
There's a new competition this season, the FA Semi Cup.
Yeah.
Excellent. So for that, you get 906 points. I think. I don't know. And finally, the bonus question: Jamie O'Hara famously wed famous person Danielle Lloyd. But how famous is their famously famous pet dog Puddles? On a scale of 114 to 114.
I would prefer to answer this in song, if I may.
Yes, by all means, always.
Yes, but since I can't sing, obviously you have to just give a numerical value instead. And I'll go for 114.
Excellent. Excellent. 114. 114. So, Bob, was that correct, incorrect, both, neither, or secret option C?
It was secret option C because Puddles only became famous when Jamie O'Hara was caught standing in the middle of a playground with his trouser around his ankle.
Okay, that's good. That's good. We are joking, by the way, for the purpose of
Allegedly. Yeah, it was a nursery.
That's right. We're so getting prosecuted. Nick, was Kuva's answer? Ignore Bob's. Make no reference to it whatsoever. Was Kuva's answer correct, incorrect, both, neither, or secret option C?
It was secret option C, but it wasn't allegedly in a playground or a nursery ground.
Red is shitting it now.
Just
Puddles the dog was allegedly in the Wagatha Christie trial, and if I'm honest, allegedly we will be okay because Jamie O'Hara. Do you mean Jamie Vardy?
No, Jamie O'Hara.
I'm getting confused with the other pointless thing.
Yeah.
Again, I've just woken up, so sorry to everyone in the chat.
That's fine. That's fine. You can exercise extra bonus option D, which is to go to sleep.
Okay.
Of course.
Are you okay? Yeah. Are you okay, Barry?
Isn't Puddles famous because Tommy fucked it?
Possibly. Yes. There was a story about that. Yeah.
Allegedly.
Yeah.
Are you sure you're okay, Barry? Because we could get an appointment arranged for you tomorrow.
Yeah.
Appointment where?
If you need it.
Well, whatever you need.
Anywhere.
Yeah. Anyway. Okay. On your boob.
As long as you've been waiting for a while. Anyway, so Kuva, for that you get 906.3114 points divided by 200. So you finished the game on 0 points. So congratulations. How do you feel?
Well, I was a bit disappointed because I was actually aiming for nothing, but 0 is just, well, that's going to live with me. It will haunt me.
I think so.
Yeah.
I think
every time I go looking into another ring, I will see that 0.
Yeah. Yeah. I will too. Or bum holes. Yeah, bum holes. Yeah. Well, they're sort of like
brown 0, really, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely.
Brown.
Absolutely. Speaking about body parts, it's time for Bob's medical corner.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, been looking forward to this all day.
I've been on the
Bob, what have you been doing? What have you been doing in the world of medicine recently? Tell us.
Well, there's a new invention that cures dementia.
Yeah.
It's gone. Sorry.
You're so
we're
wrong.
going to hell. We're going to hell.
Yeah, we really are.
No. That's it. That's it.
Fantastic. Tell us about your charity appeal.
Yes. So as we all know, I'm not going to say me. It is the YouTube community who have helped me so much. Considering when we first started it, the aim was £500. We have nearly got to the magical 3K mark. I'm considering if we get there to do a 12-hour stream. I can't do 24-hour again. Fuck, So there will be a 12-hour stream that I'll do as a way of thank you, and it's the least I can do. So we've got 4 more days to get to that magical 3K mark. If we can do it, it'd be absolutely brilliant. And of course, as we all know, we have a bunch of trustees / CEOs who will be doubling it. And we'll be getting there and making a nice, wholesome donation to the NHS / selfishly, the Princess Alexandra Hospital, who have been absolutely amazing. And and thanks to everyone within the community, within the chat. Let's see if we can get to that 3K. It'd be absolutely brilliant. 4 days, guys. 4 days.
Only £214. So if you haven't donated yet, you can go to PayPal. You don't need a PayPal account to pay. You go to PayPal and you put @BobSpurTV NHS, and you can just make a donation using your debit, or I don't know if it's debit or credit card, but certainly debit card. Please do donate. It is a great cause. As a family, we've sort of been there and seen what Bob went through. And so this is his and our way, if you like, of saying thank you back for keeping him with us. So do please go and donate if you can. So we've been bigging it up all through the show, and we've had some responses. It's Ask Us Anything time. It's Ask Us Anything time. Here we go. By the way, if you want to put some more Ask Us Anything questions in while we're answering these questions, do please feel free. All right.
Oh, wait. No.
What?
No. The answer to that first question.
Oh, well done.
I worked it out. It's multiple. You didn't tell me it was multiple choice.
Yeah. You weren't ready. No, that's good. It's good. That's excellent. So the first question we had, now that Nick's gone to sleep, was from Stuart. He said, would you let both Sanchez and Tanganga go? Unfortunately, that's a football question, so we're ignoring it. Sophie's question is, beans on toast.
How you're holding them, doesn't it?
That's true, actually. Yeah. I mean, we talk about holding them with one hand and you'd let go, or is it like a double stick?
Or maybe Stuart knows we have them kidnapped and he's asking.
Shh.
Maybe Jamie O'Hara knows.
It's true. That's true. Yeah. Maybe. So maybe hopefully that's answered the question, Stuart.
The answer is no.
Maybe. Or maybe.
Yeah.
Incidentally, Stuart's name, if you do something mathematical with the 7, the 2, and the 7, you probably get 114, by the way.
114. Yeah, somewhere along the line. I think you probably would. Sophie wants to know, beans on toast or scrambled eggs on toast? We'll put some structure in this, I think, because it's an important question. Let's go with Nick first. Nick, beans on toast or scrambled eggs on toast?
Well, I'm gonna evolve the answer. Beans on toast with a sprinkling of mozzarella on top. Very nice.
Ooh.
Scrambled eggs on crumpets.
Interesting. I fancy that right now.
What's your answer though?
Beans on toast.
Beans on toast. Okay, cool. We've got one for beans on toast. Bob?
You know what they say? Beans, the more you eat, the more... No. What was it?
Beans, good for your heart.
Oh, yeah, beans, good for your heart. The more you eat, the more you think they should be fucking banned. Hate beans. Worst thing in the fucking world. Scrambled eggs.
Excellent. Any variation on the classic scrambled egg sort of on toast recipe, like Nick was suggesting?
Well, yeah. You boil the milk first, a bit of butter. Creme fraiche always goes good in scrambled egg. On a lower heat, you don't want to cook the scrambled egg. You literally want to scramble it, cook it off heat. You want to warm the pan up, put the egg in, and make it to one side, not on the heat because it will burn very quickly. But creme fraiche in it is this magic flavour. And a
thing of chives.
Yeah, maybe if you want. I always put a couple of a little bit of cheddar in there as well. It brings the saltiness to the foot. Yeah. But failing that, just jizz in it.
Yeah.
Just it. And Kim,
I think you were attempting to fertilise the wrong eggs there, Bob.
Oh,
before we get to Kuva, Kim's just given her thoughts on what she thinks what she likes on a toast. Kuva is a hot buttery crumpet.
There you go. Kuva, you're a hot buttery crumpet.
But
we already knew that.
Often accused of that.
Yeah.
It's genetic, I'm afraid.
Yes.
Yeah, there was nothing new about that at all, really. But into what were you going for? Beans on toast or scrambled eggs on toast?
Well, judging how beans are basically the tinned version of the Shawshank Redemption to some people, I should really opt for that option for the sake of it. But scrambled egg, man, you've got to love scrambled
egg, man.
For me, a little bit of cheddar's nice. If you haven't got that available though, little pinch of onion salt.
Yeah,
very nice.
Bring the chiviness to the food.
Absolutely.
Scrambled egg, man. I've never tried.
Get your proteins and your salts in you as soon as possible.
Did you mean scrambled man eggs or scrambled egg man?
It's pronounced mayonnaise.
Excellent. Always good. So there you are, Sophie. It's a bit of a split. Personally, I would probably go with scrambled eggs on toast with beans because I'm like that, basically.
I do have a one that settles it, really. If you add the little smoky bacon to the equation, you wouldn't ruin it with beans, would you? Just slide that straight under the eggs.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Our next question comes from Stuart again. Have the four of you ever been to a party in Marbella together? I don't know which of us is going to answer.
It was
willing to answer. So we'll go with
him.
Have the four of us been to a party in Marbella together?
Not me. I had nothing to do with those three.
Are you sure?
No. Yes. No. What was the question again? Sorry.
Have the four of us
ever
been to a party in Marbella?
Yeah, of course. That was a laugh, wasn't it? Yeah. Went to a party there.
Are you sure?
Yeah, luckily, it was over 10 days ago, wasn't it? I should be all right.
Yeah. It was 10 days ago. Yeah.
Okay.
Bob, have the four of us ever been to a party in Marbella together?
How the fuck are we supposed to tell if a driving license is fake?
That was really loud. That was sort of like, how the fuck is that? Okay, relax. It's fine. Have the four of us ever been to a party?
That's what we said, didn't we? And it never.
Yes, it's true.
Yeah. No, I don't know what you're on about. I can't even spell Marbella.
That's right. Nick, have the four of us ever been to a party in Marbella together?
Allegedly, we have all been to Marbella, and allegedly, we've all been to a party, but never in the same time at the same place.
Stuart was only asking, according to Kim, as there was a string of young girls went missing there around the same time that we were there. If we were there. I don't know if we were there.
I think that question's aimed at you, Rez, as you have previous form, allegedly.
No, I'm not young. No, for me, it's not young girls. It's dead hookers.
Yes.
Have the four of us been to a party in Marbella together?
Who knows?
Who knows? It's possible. We don't know. So hopefully that will answer your question, Stuart, and that you will no longer.
It's an interrogation or what?
Hey, there's only one camera that's going fuzzy and going pixelated. And it's,
it's mine. That's right. Bobby K wants to know, what have you fellas been up to while on your stream break, and did you enjoy your break? You were missed. That's very kind of you to say, Bobby. I was attending to the fertilizer for my plants. Obviously, the ones that I was using was very good. So that's what I was up to. Nick?
I was falling asleep on multiple streams, wearing not a lot of clothes. I thought I'd put a shirt on tonight as we were coming back, a t-shirt rather than being bare-chested and sitting in my pants.
Fantastic.
I thought that's a shirt, is it? I thought it was a tattoo. They seem very popular nowadays.
Yes, they are. They are. Lots of people are getting them these days. It's amazing.
Not everybody though.
But not everybody. No. There are always one or two exceptions. Kuva, what have you been up to on your stream break, which didn't happen, and did you enjoy it?
I'd certainly enjoyed your stream break. I was celebrating it mostly, like the rest of the community. I think I'd just like to help Rez out in the spare time and jizz on his plants for him.
Yep, that was very helpful. Thank you, Kuva. I really did appreciate that. Yeah.
You've got to fix that window, really, haven't you?
Yes, I do. I mean, obviously, doing it without asking first might have been problematic had it been someone else. But obviously, it was me. You were fortunate. It was fine, But yes, if you could, exactly. But if you could write out a check to replace the window pane, that would be helpful, because obviously, having smashed it, we need to repair it. But
I thought it was being taken care of. Those 4 young ladies in the house with the short skirts and the cash.
No, that was for the party in Marbella. That was for the party in Marbella. Yeah, that was something else. Which we didn't attend. Bob, what have you been up to on our stream break?
Streaming.
Yeah. Did you enjoy our break?
Yeah, I loved it. Saturday nights, 10:45, the usual, and and weirdly, during your stream break, while I was streaming in the wall, I always had either one of you on there with me during your stream break. So it was brilliant.
It's quite odd how that happened. There you go, Bobby. So that's what we were up to during our stream break. I keep wanting to say spring break, but we're not even American.
Yeah.
But then we would all have to go, woo!
Yeah.
Woo! Exactly. Yeah.
With that amount of enthusiasm and no more.
Yeah.
No more than that, absolutely. Jacob has got the next question. How moist is too moist for cake or a pitch? Are we talking about, I'm guessing we're talking about a football pitch. Let's go with that.
Maybe not.
No, perhaps. How moist is too moist? I reckon an 8 on the von Gisma moist scale is probably a bit too much. So that's where I'd get.
No one likes a soggy bottom, do they?
No, absolutely not. No, especially after Kuva's given them one. That's usually very unpleasant. Kuva, yourself? Not for you. Nothing is too moist.
I'd prefer to address this another way. And everybody enjoys a soggy biscuit. I mean, who doesn't? But when it comes to cakes, I think that was a little bit too far. I think you don't want to be dipping cakes, do you? You don't want to be sort of you don't want the feeling that this cake is almost engorged, if you like. I think it should do enough to squeeze it gently and get away with it without anybody knowing.
Yeah,
sort of like the Marbella way of eating cake.
Yeah, as long as it's not sopping, basically. Is what we're saying. Yeah. Okay. So again, that's just a little beyond the 8 on the von Gism moistness scale.
Possibly an 8.114, I think.
Possibly, yeah. It's somewhere between 8.114 and 8.200. One of those two. Bob, how moist is too moist for a cake or a pitch?
See, I'm going to go a bit technical now. For me, whenever I want to check the moistness of a cake or a pitch or anything, I just shove 2 fingers in it.
Yeah. And what is it? What's the test? What do you feel for?
Depth.
Right. Right. And is it? I mean, is resistance a factor in your determination, or is it purely how far you can shove the fingers in?
Yeah, it's a slurpiness. It's a slurpiness
Right.
scale.
So so there's an audio component to your test as well as.
Yeah.
Do you listen for an appealing? When you withdraw the two fingers swiftly, is there an appealing audio aspect to that as well?
No. Then I'll know if to eat it or not.
Right. Okay. Again,
not the pitch, of course. The cake.
No, but I think what Kuva's asking is obviously there's an audio component, but is the audio component on the way in or on the way out, or both?
Who said anything about audio? I use video.
To check sound.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. That's good. There you go. Well, I think we've come up with quite a comprehensive answer there for you, Jacob. You know, I to be honest, I don't think you'll ever need to ask that question ever again, or want to.
I think the only real winner again has been football, hasn't it?
Or two fingers.
I think so. Ben wants to know, why is Fire Bean Mexican Grill in Ilford better than Chilango's? Mate, I've said it on your stream countless times, right? If you live anywhere within the catchment area of Ilford or this particular restaurant, the Fire Bean Mexican Grill, right? Trust me, get a burrito from them. You won't regret it. It's amazing. I cannot believe I ordered it. It was me, Bob, Kim, Ben. We ordered like lunch for ourselves twice. We ordered it. It took half an hour, which is a reasonable amount of time. Perfect. And it was piping hot. Yeah. Right? I mean, proper, you know. I ordered from Chilango's, which is about 15 minutes from my house. It was way more expensive. I got less than I got at Fire Bean. It came quicker because it's closer, and it wasn't even lukewarm. It wasn't even lukewarm. It was shite. So I'm actually thinking of moving to Ilford.
Yeah.
No.
Into Ben's coffee.
Yeah, exactly. Why is the fire? Oh, by the way, Ben, I'll come and pick up the barbecue at some point, man. I'm sorry, I shouldn't. Nick, why is Fire Bean Mexican Grill in Ilford better than Chilango's?
Because of the answer you just gave. I have not frequented either, but I would say that based on your frivolous TripAdvisor review, I would have to go and frequent the first establishment.
Why have you not yet?
Because I haven't been invited.
Oh, that's a shame.
It's a fucking shop.
Hey, he's got a point. He has got a point, Nick. He's got a point.
Kuva, you can't be arse.
Yeah.
Kuva, which is better?
Well, with my wealth of experience comparing the two over a 22-year period, seasonally adjusted and all things withstanding forthwith.
In real terms.
I think we can indeed move on. Well done, lads.
Yeah.
Excellent. Bob?
Well, food always tastes better with great company, doesn't it? So, of course, with me around, what wouldn't taste better?
I can think of lots of things.
Yeah. Would you like a lift?
Dirty boy.
We've got another scientific one from Jacob here. The human anus can stretch up to 7 inches before taking damage.
That's right.
A raccoon can squeeze into holes as tight as 4 inches, meaning you can take almost 2 full raccoons up your ass. Thoughts? I certainly have some. Nick?
What, my raccoons up your ass?
I mean, leave that from the side.
Yeah, I mean, it's a bit painful at the moment, if I'm honest, with these 2 raccoons up my arse.
But you didn't have them up there.
Yeah. Well, I had to try it. As soon as Jacob put the question in, I was straight on to Deliveroo asking, "Can I get 2 raccoons?" And ever since then, it's not been the same. So
amazing. Okay, so Nick's up for it, or certainly the raccoons are. Kuva, what are your thoughts?
I think the raccoons need to make more of an effort, really, because if they could get that down to a 3.5-inch insertion rate, then or girth, then you could manage the two quite comfortably, and check for the moistness of last night's cake.
Yes.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah, I agree. I love the science. I do. I really do. Bob?
Well, I've tried this, and Jacob's wrong. It's not 2. It's actually 22. Oh no! I thought you said macaroons. Sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah, no, raccoons, not macaroons.
No, the human macaroon can stretch up to 7 inches.
That's right. Yes, the human macaroon. There you go, Jacob. I hope that's comprehensive enough for you, but do feel free to ask a follow-up question if you wanted. Bobby K, how much did your dominant forearm grow whilst on your break? One of them is certainly more tanned than the other. So,
that's the one who's shoving up his arse.
Oh yeah, shit.
Right.
With a raccoon chaser.
With a lost raccoon.
Yes.
You seen the end of Ant-Man and the Wasp when Ant-Man did that? You got a raccoon going, where am I? And time has literally stood still for him while up your arse.
Absolutely. Yeah. Kuva, how much has your dominant forearm grown whilst we've been on our break?
It's at bursting point, I believe.
Wow.
I was, it's grown. I can't actually lift my arms anymore due to lack of exercise. They get some exercise, but not enough of at the same level as when you are on.
Is it reminiscent of Tetsuo from the film Akira?
Probably. In fact, yes, I'll go with a definite yes, even though I haven't seen it.
You haven't seen it? Okay.
No, so we definite yes. It's at least a 7 on the macaroon scale, though.
Okay, that's significant growth. Oh yeah,
indeed.
Yeah, Bob, how much has your dominant forearm grown whilst we've been on our break?
Well, while you've been on your break, you've not been on screen, so I've not only had a weaker arm, I've also had a cleaner PC monitor. So,
okay. So you've gone the other way. So it's actually how much has your dominant forearm shrunk?
You guys not been on screen, so if you don't screen, I don't stream.
There you go. There you go. Fantastic. There you go, Bobby. I hope that's answered your question. Andrew Gregory is asking how much you doggy in the window. Is this a football question, guys?
Yeah.
I think we should just leave it at that.
Yeah, I think we should leave it at that. Yeah. Ben's asking, what are the factors of 200? I think Kuva can answer this one.
Yeah, 140. Okay.
Yeah, 114, and how many made up the rest with raccoons, basically,
or macaroons?
Right.
Because the multiples of 7 inches and 4-inch raccoons, I think something can be done to manipulate the numbers there.
I think so.
Not sure what. Probably not math space, but
no, I wouldn't have said that. As obviously, as your lab assistants, Kuva, Nick and Bob can give additional evidence. So feel free, gents.
That's enough.
That was good. Aaron Dove asked,
I can't believe you've put this up. Fucking hell.
Eagle likes dwarves. Does he also like hobbits, Oompa Loompas, leprechauns, and pygmies? Aaron, if he ever comes to Ireland, he's going to hunt you. But a question, Bob, does Daigle also like hobbits, Oompa Loompas, leprechauns, and pygmies?
No.
Nick? No. Kuva?
Well, I think he does, except for leprechauns, of which he has an insane hatred for them for no reason whatsoever.
There you go, Aaron. Okay. Enjoy your period of safety. Ben has come in. What cake should I get for Kimber when she returns?
Well, first of all, we need to do the finger test. So whatever two fingers go in that are moist on video,
that make a noise on video.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think if we made it a chocolate cake as well, because 2 fingers of fudge is just enough to give your Kims a treat.
Okay.
I'll get it in the fucking neck.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
There you go. I'm not sure if we came anywhere close to answering your question, Ben, which, knowing you the way I do, would have been motivated from nothing but the sweetest of motivations, which we have now just completely shat on. So apologies for that. Let's quickly move on.
I didn't answer.
Oh, okay.
We don't want to know what your answer is, mate.
I want to answer.
Come on, let Bob answer.
Go on, Bob.
No cakes. She just likes a brownie. Brownie.
That wasn't your nickname, Laxa and Homemade Brownies, allegedly. That's what you told me.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
Aaron is asking a very innocent question. Who has the longest girthy knob on the planet? The panel, sorry.
I'll go first.
Bobby,
considering Kuva can break a window with his knob, Rez's window with his knob.
No. The knob didn't break the window. The jizz hitting window broke the window. You go.
It's like the cannon of all penises, isn't it?
It's like a water cannon, yeah.
That's it.
It's a jizz cannon.
Yeah, and we all know Kuva is a big knob. So, yeah, it'd have to be Kuva.
That fits. The biggest knob has got the biggest knob.
Truth be told, it's more sort of high velocity, low caliber.
Right. It's got good rifling on the inside, yeah?
We're much more into several portions on this meal.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah,
absolutely. So. Nick, do you concur? Do you concur that Kuva has the longest girthy knob on the panel?
Yeah, don't. It's just bringing memories back. Don't.
I'm sorry. I know. It was a tough time. I know.
Talking of knobs, knobs, breaking news. FIFA's World Cup is going to start a day early, so they can fit in. So Qatar will play the first game rather than being the third game on the calendar at the moment. So Qatar v Ecuador will be the first game a day earlier, just to Did
FIFA write to them and just said they can bring it forward a day earlier? Or
no, I think there was brown envelopes involved. No, the answer about 3 years ago.
Yeah,
they were waiting 3 years for an answer, but finally got it.
Yes, apparently, I made a moist cake at Ben's coffee party. I probably did. I make a lot of moistness everywhere, to be honest. Next question. They're very hard. Yeah, they're very hard. Yeah. Here's a question for me, Flores, because he's genius. If you're in a bar full to the brim and get a boner, does it impact Archimedes' principle and cause a bit of extra spillover? Okay, I know what the answer is, but I'll leave it to you gents first. Nick, does it cause any spillover?
Well, yeah, especially if you're playing jellyfishes.
Hoover?
I would have to say it depends if he's going to put it in the water or not.
Okay. Bob?
Well, it makes no difference. Same weight. It's the weight coming from. But, it depends if the dead hookers start floating to the top.
There you go. The answer is actually yes, because the volume of the human body does increase ever so slightly.
Mm.
Yeah, but that's
ever so slightly.
Yeah. Ever so slightly, yes.
Yeah.
But at high velocity, window breaking velocity.
Window breaking, absolutely. Jacob wants to know, if you have 20 raccoons eating 2.5 macaroons each, how much can you fit into the human anus?
Yeah.
114?
114?
Yeah. You'd be foolish to ignore that answer, won't you? So I'll go for 170.
170. Bob?
Well, I've actually tried this, and the answer is 48. Oh, sorry, I thought you meant tambourines.
What's a tambourine?
It's a tambourine, but a more muscular version. Yeah, a muscular version, manly version of a tambourine.
A man tam.
Yeah, man tam. Yeah, it's a tambourine. And the answer is 48.
Yeah, so your regular tambourine is like a little thing that you hit, and like a tambourine is like this enormous lorry tire wheel like this. You've got like sort of smack. Like that.
That's it. 48.
48. There you go. We got a question specifically for Nick. How many Henry Hoovers do you actually get through in a year, and what do you look for in your Henrys?
Well, Carl. First of all, there are different variants of Henry Hoovers. Just for the people that aren't aware, there are various. So there's not only Henry. There's Hetty. There's Harry, George, Charles, James. There's a Henry Micro and a Henry Extra. So there's
Zippy and Bungle.
There's a what?
Zippy and Bungle.
So yeah, there's 8 different variants of the Henry Hoover. I couldn't possibly tell you how many I get through because they are actually bagless. So there is no
teabagging.
Teabagging. There's actually no. If I get through one, unless it fills up, I just need to empty it. So,
Isn't there the occasional gunk-related problem that needs fixing?
Yeah, but I can send it for repair. They service them, they repair them, they give them a bit of TLC, bit more, not the TLC that I give them. So yeah, I mean, look, you can see them all there. Look, the whole family.
So what's that on porn
going on?
Yeah. So that's your equivalent.
Don't forget as well that today's gunk is tomorrow's lubricant. So it's not really an issue.
True. That's very true. Yeah. That's true. I mean, coming on to that. Okay, saying, have we ever thought of contacting Henry Hoover for sponsorship, or are their reps terrified of Nick? We did speak to Henry Hoover, but actually, I've got his response here. Bear with me a second. Hold on. I'll just check it. From thing, thank you for getting in touch with us about potential sponsorship. Fuck off. Yeah. So no, we failed on that one, unfortunately. But it's a good shout. We did think about it, but it didn't happen. More on the Henry Hoover issue. Has Laura limited how many Henry Hoovers you can put on your wedding register? I'm guessing. Or your
the thing is, where Nick goes wrong, he names them all. You know, Henry, Henrietta,
Harry, James.
Hetty, Harry, and his favourite, Sucky Sucky Cum Cum, which Laura ain't gonna like that, man. So
yeah, that's true. But
a bit more original.
Obviously, we've got to have that confirmed by Nick. Has Laura limited how many Henry Hoovers you can put on your wedding list?
We don't need any Henry Hoovers. I don't have any Henry Hoovers. I have no need for a Henry Hoover. This is all slander, and I'll be contacting my lawyer in the morning.
There you go, Bobby.
I was standing in the middle of a playground with the Henry Hoover and trousers around his ankles.
Yeah, so you can expect a solicitor's letter to be winging its way over to Toronto to you, Bobby, post haste. Excellent.
If you write the letter right now and post it right now, you should get an appointment for tomorrow morning.
You should get an appointment for tomorrow morning. Absolutely. Adrian wants to know: is there a COVID variant?
Off with the Henry Hoover fucking questions, will you? As much as
we weren't asking you. We were asking Kuba. Is there a COVID variant of the Henry Hoover? Fucking hell, man! You're sensitive tonight, aren't you? Kuba?
No, unfortunately not yet. But with new variants out all the time, we are hopeful. There'll be more on the market, certainly.
Fantastic. Ben wants to know, what does Carl Simpson order from Five Guys for his 5 guys? That's an excellent question.
Five guys.
Oh yeah. So each of the 5 guys gets a 5 guys. Gets a guy.
Yeah. Share alike. Yeah. And then he's also goes 2 fingers.
Okay, yeah, cool. Just to check quality and moistness. Excellent.
And then
Excellent.
they have a
Five
party.
Guys.
They have a party. Put songs on and they play the tambourines.
Right.
The Mantowns. Yeah.
Kuva, any further? Anything more on that you want to add?
Five Guys, two
wrong?
fingers. Bit of a clean up with Henry. A bit more. Yeah, I was lovingly known as whatever it was, sucky, fucky. Or,
Yeah, sucky, come.
Sucky, come. That was it. I was thinking of his of her twin brother.
Yeah.
Of course, Suki, come. Yeah. Nick, what does Carl Simpson order from Five Guys for his Five Guys?
Well, I'm just. Carl says they don't have time to eat food, so I guess he's ordering nothing for them because he's just got them enslaved somewhere in his dungeon.
Excellent. Good. So hopefully that's answered your question there, Bob. Jacob, if you could fill an entire pool with anything other than water, what would you choose? Doesn't have to be a liquid either. Kuva?
I think I would like to fill it with prejudice.
And racism.
Definitely casual racism. Yeah. That's not quite so urgent though, because it is casual. Remember,
casual. Yeah.
Extreme prejudice in as early as possible, and just gently let the racism slide in there. Real nice, slow.
For me, it'd be raccoons eating macaroons while playing the tambourines.
Excellent. Nick?
I'm just fucking hell, Bobby K. You all right, mate? You're sending 4,000 questions in. Don't you have a football tournament or something to go to with little K?
Mama K's making macaroons.
So you want the pool to be filled with Mama K making macaroons? Yeah, we could go with that.
Yeah, really. We are gonna be ending it soon. So anyone else...
Bobby K, if you could stop putting questions in, that'd be quite good.
Yeah, that would be helpful. But Jacob's question: if you could fill an entire pool with anything other than water, what would you choose? Doesn't have to be a liquid either. Nick,
who are you asking?
You.
I just gave the answer. Mama K making macaroons.
Oh, I see. Sorry, I thought you were just commenting on Bobby K's evening. Rev, are you planning to upgrade to a larger vehicle to avoid body parts hanging out the boot? Yes. I don't know. Nick, if you have another son, what would you name him?
Well, it's not going to be Bobby K.
Henry.
No. There's no more sons. In fact, I don't even have any sons. So if I'd have to have a son, then I can't have another son because I haven't got a son.
Well, you'd need to have a son and then another son.
Yeah. So that's not happening.
Kids.
That's not happening.
Yeah. There you go, Bobby.
Doesn't have to be your own.
I would, if I had another son, I'd double barrel my surname with my own name and call him Bud. So it'd be Bud Sing Sing. So it'd be
lovely.
Great.
Nick, would you allow Carl and his five guys to meet your Henrys? I think we've covered that. Nick, on a scale of 1 to 10, how sick are you of the Henry Hoover questions?
I don't even know how this started. I mean, I do know how it started, but I don't know how it got to this point. Can you just give me another fucking name? Because I'm sick and tired of the Henry Hoover thing. There must be another name for me now. And this Henry Hoover thing.
Sucky Cum Cum.
There you go. There we go. Brilliant. Sucky Cum Cum.
Right. So that's the end of the Ask Us Anything section. Thank you for participating, everyone. Right, and that's pretty much it for our show today. Do please like, subscribe, and comment. We're going to go around the panel and ask what people are doing with themselves. I don't know what the answers are going to be. So, Bob, when are you on next, chap?
Of course, Saturday night, 10:45. Hopefully, you three will be making it at the show. Yep, in the wall, 10:45. The usual. Looking back at the weekend's results, previewing the Chelsea game, the worst guest celebrity that there ever is, and of course, I don't know who wants to do wankety wank. I might do it myself this week.
Trees or wank, yeah.
I don't know. Kuva, I might see who wants to do it. I might let Ben Kaufman do the wankety wank questions this week. We'll see. But yeah, 10:45, as you all know, chill out, evening, talk about football. Then it goes into pure chaos, randomness, and filth, as it should be with a bunch of guys.
As it should be.
I'm trying to get a Chelsea fan on. So we could do a bit of a preview, then rip him to fucking shreds.
Kuva, other than in the wall, where can we find you, sir?
Doesn't matter after that, does it? Just in the wall or bust. All or nothing. That's what it's about.
Oh, yeah.
Other than that, no. Sunday evening, Bobby K, 3 Spurs boys. Certainly, we should be using their vehicle, as it were, for putting on another in the wall light on Sundays, as it was last week. Well, I say light, but it was just in the wall, basically.
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
It's possibly worse.
Yeah,
I remember. It was hilarious.
Is that the kids show that you're doing? Yeah.
That's right. Yeah.
Sorry, kids.
Bob comes on, and it all goes to hell. So yeah, and Nick, you and I are there's more shelf side to come, isn't there? Do you want to tell us about?
There is. So yeah, Sunday night, shelf side on tour, on Tottenham on tour, on Sunday night, 9:00. We will have. We won't have a Man U fan on because he's already told me if they lose against Brentford, then he's not coming on because he's in the mud after last weekend. But we will have a Liverpool fan, a Leeds fan talking about Bielsa being a god. We will have a Liverpool fan that won't have anything a bad word to say about Liverpool, stealing things, the usual. We will potentially have a Chelsea fan on, and hopefully Spurs, please don't let us down, because otherwise we're literally going to be in the mud.
Our very first shelf side on tour, and we have to suffer them.
Yeah, but look, it's going to be a bit quirky. We haven't set a script. We'll review the first couple of games. We'll talk about Conte. We'll talk about Man U being in the mud. We'll talk about lots of things, and we'll just go on a random roller coaster, like we even more so, I think, than what we normally do. So Sunday night, 9:00, and then we will be back next Thursday. And hopefully Al will make an appearance. Obviously, big up Al. We've missed you tonight. Maybe Johnny will be around as well. So yeah, get the old crew back together, and see what happens. But yeah, it'll be interesting. So it may be the same, it may be different. But Al, 7:30. You wanted the time moved for you so you could watch Emmerdale or Coronation Street or whatever program you wanted to watch.
Previews,
or you can just DVR it potentially. I don't know.
Do you know who would be a really good guest for you next week?
Who's that?
Ten Hag. He's going to have a lot of time on his hands by then, I would have thought.
Yeah. Yes. Of course. You do realise his name is currently Eric 9 Hag, and then after Brent it'll be Eric 8 Hag. So a big up as well to everyone in the chat. I'll go through and just give shout outs. Thanks to Eugene, Stephen Cartwright, Bobby K, Barry, who was in the comments an hour and a half before we kicked off. I don't know why. Al, Ben, Stuart, Sophie, Luke, Mark, Mabbott, Cousins, Kimber. We've seen Ben.
Get well soon, Kimber. Get well soon, Kimber.
Yeah.
Who else did we have in
Mr.
here?
Daigle,
Thank you very much.
Iggy,
Aaron Dove. I'm just going through in order. Lisa. We've got Kier Spurs. Shawnee, thanks for coming to join us, mate. El Said, good to see you. Bobby K, I think I mentioned. Athelston Edwardson was here. Good to see you, AE. Thanks for joining. Who else do we? I think that's everyone. Did we miss anyone? Jacob from United States of America. Andrew Gregory, Iggy. Dave McGarry was in there. Good to see you. We Are Tottenham TV. I'm guessing that you see there's something inside so strong sounds more like Ben than Sim. Yeah. So I don't know if it was this thing. So could have been Ben.
Yeah.
But it was good to see whichever one of you it was. Brian, as we said, Brian Daigle was in there too. Some wonderful questions from some other people as well. And yeah, I think that is everyone. If I've missed you out, big apologies. But again, thank you very, very much for joining us. And yes, do please like, subscribe, comment, tell your friends, take out full spread banners in newspapers and tell the world about Shelfside Spurs Show. And hopefully we will see you all next week. Thank you very much for joining us. Any last thoughts, guys?
Big up the NHS.
Brilliant
Big up
stuff.
the NHS.
Thank you very much, you guys. Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.